Hello comrades, my name is Fritz and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program New Horizons. We're playing in beta version 0.90 and today, following the release of our satellite communications network in geosynchronous orbit in the previous episode, we are going to Ike. I have been to Minmus in the break of about a week, if you remember, and I've been doing some other stuff. I sent a station into orbit around the moon, and that's given us the budget that we needed to get to Ike. Right, the planets are in line, so without further ado, I'm going to fire the engines and then the launch clamps, because these engines take a while to spool up. So in 3, 2, 1, we have a... oh. Whoa! And... crikey! Parachutes. Can we have parachutes, please? Obviously not. Well, the explosions were quite loud. Wow. And I'm not entirely sure what happened. But... oh, that's loud. Crikey Moses! That went well. Okay, I'm gonna revert the flight. And then, okay, so what happened was, it did exactly what I didn't want it to do, and released the clamps at the same time as fire the engines. Right, that was a haphazard start to the episode. But anyway, without further ado, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have liftoff. That's a good noise. That is a very good noise, going up straight as an arrow as per usual. Sides are away. Ullage motors doing their job. Very nice. We're losing speed. I'm going to throttle up. I'm carrying a heck of a lot of science equipment on this rocket, on this payload, lander payload. And Tomble Kerman in the pilot seat. Accelerating once again towards 200 meters per second before we kick into our initial pitch over maneuver. 180. We are really shifting now. I'm going to throttle down because these engines are more powerful than the mainsail. Oh, no. So, we are going to get some serious oomph. Oomph is a new astrophysics technical term. And 3, 2, 1. They're about to go. Whoa, we have ignition, and... God, I thought only one had come off there for a second. Whoa, God. That was exciting. The other Zebratrons didn't actually fire. That was interesting. We almost had a mission failure for the second time. Throttling up. This thing has quite a low specific impulse, so... the fuel efficiency isn't great, but I'll see you in orbit. Okay folks, here we are in orbit around Ike, and if you have noticed some subtle changes in my voice, you're right, because I recorded this on a different day about half a week later and I'm really quite ill. I have more phlegm in my head than Paris Hilton. Anyway, yes, here we are in orbit around Ike. I got a fairly cheap transition, a Hoffman transfer, out into Ike orbit. I didn't even have to get into orbit around Dune, I just did a minor course correction, which is about 740 meters per second of delta V, so fairly cheap in terms of the odd fuel usage, so that's good. What I'm going to do is warp around, and then basically see if I can't land on the day side. So I'm going to point retrograde by using the icon here, and yes, okay, it's it's not really doing that very well, is it? You are not working as advertised. Right, hang on a minute. Ah, I have no electric charge. Brilliant. Can I not? There we go. Ah, yeah. Right, now we can start generating some serious power. Can you point into the sun? There we go, fantastic. Well, let's find the retrograde marker. Here it goes. Recharging our batteries. That was a brief scare. I was hoping that... Well, I was really worried that we wouldn't be able to extend the panels and we'd sort of die. Anyway. Fire up the LVN atomic motor. Courtesy of hot rockets, the particle effects are glowing red for the... simulate, I think, the hydrogen that's meant to be burned during the fission reaction. And lowering our periapsis. I'm thinking that we can get a good descent here. Maybe even keep the nuclear engine for the landing. We've had a history with Ike of not landing on the actual lander stage. If you remember, in about episode 9 of the Quest for the Final Frontier, we landed on our Juno transfer stage, which is actually a repurposed moon rocket. But that was then, this is now, and we are getting a much better shot of this than we did last time, and one that was slightly less high stakes. So here we come, in for a landing, 400 meters per second. I should probably start bleeding off some velocity, if I can turn. And there we are, hit the retrograde. Give us some welly. Okay, we're slowing down rather well. More than I'd hoped, actually, so this is good. Roll so that I can see what I'm doing. Pilot's facing surface of Ike here. It looks exactly like the moon. And indeed this is our moon lander. There are some variations, obviously, for scientific purposes, but other than that, we're coming in hot, quite literally. This descent is looking very good, actually, I have to say. I'm going to drop to about 75 meters per second. Yeah, this is... oh, no. There we go, and then we're going to drop. It's about 5 kilometers. And that should be about right. Maximizing fuel use is what this is all about at the moment, and whoa, we are slowing faster than I intended. I guess I will cut when we are nearer to the ground. I'll see you then. Okay, here we are. We're coming in for a bit of a suicide burn. Just under a kilometer above the surface. 900 meters, 800 meters, slowing down to about 25 meters per second. This looks like a nice and gentle landing. There, no. I can't see my shadow. Oh, I'm going up. Well done. And coast, there we go. Perfect. 700, let's time warp. 400. 25. Okay, we don't really need to do that much. This nuclear engine has served us well. I gather. That's 320. I can't see my shadow, which is disconcerting. There must be a graphics option for that. I'm going to have to find it. This happened in previous series, and I never worked out how to turn it back on, but it could be something to do with the new textures I'm using, because it's using up far too much RAM. Anyway, yes, okay, 150 meters up. The ground is pretty much right there. We're straight up and down. This is good. Oh, bollocks! What I've done is staged the nuclear engine. Okay, here we are, take 2. Hopefully I won't be incompetent again and stage the nuclear engine. We are going to land on it, so we don't waste fuel. We have a lot of it. Anyway, 55 meters per second, and once again we're pretty much where we left off. So, let's slowly coast into position. Let's take our time. Let's not stage any engines or blow anything up. And we can cut the throttle at around 15 meters per second. There we go, timing this to perfection. For those of you who've ever watched MasterChef or any of those bake-off programs, you'll know that timing to perfection is useful if you want to avoid the proverbial soggy bottom. Whatever that is. Anyway, 500 meters, let's move on from the world of bakery and culinary excellence. And burn, 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 burn. Okay, it seems that crash happened because of my unfamiliarity with the new Kerbal Space Program user interface, and coming along at quite a rate sideways and mostly downwards, which isn't really good for our third attempt at our Ike landing. Clearly, this little piece of space junk is a lot more trouble than it's worth, and it kill our vertical speed because coming in too hot. But coming in too hot, we're going in for another low pass like we did in the moon landing, and I'm going to start to ease off here. Point retrograde. Apparently I've got to click on this icon here rather than click again on the retrograde marker to stop that happening. Oh well. Coming in nicely anyways. I'm going to deploy the landing legs this time because it's clear that we can't seem to stand up on the LVN atomic motor. So I'm going to just line retrograde and hope for the best. Whoa, Nelly. And down we come, like a glove. Epic music. The Eagle has landed. Tomball Kerman made his way from Kerbin to the surface of Ike in only 3 attempts. Anyway, there we go. That's the Ike landing. And we'll get him out. We'll close off flight engineer. Do a crew report from the surface. 40 science. Materials bay study. 200 science. Fantastico. We got more money. Yes, we do. Brilliant. And materials bay observation. We've just done that. So mystery goo observation. 80 science. You observe the goo. Very good, very good. Right, now for something that I've been wanting to try for quite some time. The exocurb Kerbal core drill. So, start the drill. Testosterone fueled space exploration. It's doing its drilling business here, evidently. And let's collect the core sample once it's shut off. There we go. What? The XKCD is only... Is that a joke? Is only meant to be used on the surface of atmospheric planets. Oh, bollocks. Well, you know what? Fine. I'm new to this game, okay? Well, I'm new to the mod, okay? D-Magic Orbital Science is not my cup of tea at the moment. Let's analyze the hydrogen data. Can we do that, please? It's glowing again, as it usually does. The dynamic albedo of neutrons. 48 science that water is present in tonight's traces. What we can also do, we have a laser scanner, I think. That was the other thing. Aha! Fire laser! Yoink! That's less dramatic. Okay, we fired our laser into the engine, apparently. Collect laser data. Not enough electric charge. Shutting down experiment. What? No! What are you doing to me, man? I have more than enough electric charge. What I haven't done is fitted batteries. it's clear that... Okay, we'll let it recharge, and then we'll do our thing. There it is, our flag. That's my YouTube emblem. If I shine his helmet lights on it, then we'll be able to see. There it is. Anyway, yes, let's jet off out, hit in the face by a flag. Let's, okay, we're not being able to collect as much science as I'd hoped, but we still have some valuable experiments and such like. So what I'm going to do is grab, and oh dear, I've decided that I'm going to take the magnetometer reading. Can I not do that? There we go. Serious aerobics going on. Collect the magnetometer reading. Here, I'm going to do that in orbit so we can get our thing like that. Log the magnetometer data. Okay, 40 science. We'll reset the experiment and we'll toggle the thing. Can we now collect the laser data? No. Bollocks. Well, I guess we'll have to call that a day and, yeah, come back some other time. But in the meantime, well, I'm just going to go ahead, get back into orbit, and then, yeah, see, we'll start the journey back home, and then I'll cut off the episode there. But let us leave this barren rock of misery and woe in 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. At a point, nice and flat. Like so. Put up HUD 1 so I can see my apoapsis. 4 kilometers. I think the mountains are higher than 4 kilometers though. And I'm also going to have to save my fuel because... vessel, how much delta V do I have? 500 meters per second. Oh Nelly, this is going to be tight. In fact, I don't even know if we have that much. This is bad. I think what I've done is not done this properly. Okay, we might not even get home at this rate, which obviously isn't really that good, and we seem to have a few problems in terms of our apoapsis, so I'm going to pitch up a little bit. Yeah, that means that we're going to hit those mountains, which you can see over there. Yeah, we're not going to get into orbit. Well, we are going to get into orbit, we're not going to get home though. That much is, well, it's pretty clear. We might have to come back, rescue Tomball Kerman with a bigger, more beefy ship with a lot more power. And we'll see. Oh, bloody hell, no. Now we're just wasting delta V. Time warp to the apoapsis. I don't know if I can make it home. The thoughts are that I can't. That's enough said. Anyway, what I'm going to do is take a magnetometer reading. Extend the boom. Log the data. 35 science. Okay, so we lost 5 science there. That's fine. Anyway, that's that. My delta V reading is scaring me a little. I'm going to warp down to the bright side. And, well, I guess we can call it an episode here. A slightly less successful episode than our previous 2 episodes have been. which I'm not greatly happy about. In fact, I'm very much displeased at the XKCD Quadrille. I don't know if that's a reference to the comics, but I don't know, yeah, I'm annoyed that it didn't work. Let me increase the vacuum ambient light intensity here. Perfect. I'm slightly annoyed that it didn't work, so we're gonna have to live with that in the next episode, when I can either decide whether I have enough Delta V to get back to Kerbin, or we can set up a rescue mission with the money that we have. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I did have a cold, so apologies if I was a bit sniffy, but yes. In the meantime, my name is Fritz, and I will of course see you next time on Kerbal Space Program, New Horizons.